Hi, today the lesson is on one of the basic tissues, that is connective tissues. So, why do we need connective tissues? So, let's see what are the main functions of connective tissues. Okay, so we'll talk about the functions, major functions. So, one thing is support, provides support, attachment surfaces, it holds the organs, and then it contributes towards uh, transportation, communication between organs, and so it acts as a media of transport, and so transport, support, transport. So those are two main functions, and also it acts in immune function, right? And storage, storage of nutrients and things like that. And so these are some of the main functions that support and structure can take both support and structure. So everything comes under immune function and protection. Okay. So these are the main functions of a connective tissue, right? So let's see what are the main types of connective tissues that we encounter in day-to-day life. So this is not an exclusive list, but these are the main types. So you have loose connective tissue, where the tissue is very um, not tightly bound, lot of ground substance. So usually in a connective tissue, so I'll use CT for as an abbreviation. So connective tissue has the ground substance and fibers and cells. So this, if the ground substance is extant, that means that it is abundant, then the connective tissue is very loose. So for example, let me see, so there are fibers like that, and within that there is a lot of ground substance, and then there are random cells, let's say, like that, cell cells. So here it is very loose. So this is a loose type of tissue. So if I take a dense type of tissue, so the fibers are very, what do you call, tightly packed and little ground substance, and between them you have these small cells. So this is a dense one, and this is a loose one. So based on that, you have two types, right? So so these types are based on how they're arranged. So you have loose connective tissue, where the connective tissue is loose with a lot of ground substance, and dense connective tissue is tightly packed with all its ground substance, cells, and the fibers, right? So adipose tissue is fat tissues. So this is fat tissues. So these fat tissues, they have these cells which contains lipid droplets, large lipid droplets. So the lipid droplet will be in the center like this. So I will be coloring green, but usually it appears white in histological sections or microscopic sections, right? So this is the nucleus, and this is the fat droplet, right? So this is fat tissues. So they store nutrients and substances, and also sometimes act as insulators also, right? Then you have blood. Everyone knows what blood is, so it's a big topic. Blood has its blood cells, and it's involved in transportation and communication. So within the organs, within the body, blood is required. So like cartilage and bones, both are involved in providing structural support to the whole body itself, whole organs and itself. So let's see what are the types of main connective tissue. So you can see here you have areolar connective tissue. Areolar connective tissue means it's a type of, it means it's loose connective tissue, So you can see these are the cells. So these are the cells, and these lines that you can see are these are the cells, and these lines that you can see are the fibers, and this clear space in between these fibers is the brown substance, right? So you can see it's all haphazardly arranged, right? And then if you take the fibrous connective tissue, which is type of a dense connective tissue, so you can see all these fibers. So all these fibers arranged tightly, packed tightly, and there are cells which is not that clear. This is looks like an artifact, not a cell. And see here, this is the area is ground substance and stuff like that. So the area ground substance is less in these type of cells, tissues. And then you have this adipose tissues. You can see that this is an adipose cell. This is another cell, and these are the dark dots or dark dots are the nuclei of adipocytes or the adipose cells. You can see they have been pushed to the periphery of the cell because of the large lipid droplets, right? So we'll be talking about the blood and cartilage and bone in detail. So you have seen cartilage and bone, and so blood we'll be discussing it in detail later. So these I'll be talk a little bit about these two tissues. So those connective tissues they are between various tissues connecting one another, right? So for an example, you can find this little connective tissue in things like submucosa of hollow organs. For an example, let's say the intestine. So if I take a cross section of the intestine, so you will see that so like I said in the last video, so you have the epithelium, and outside the epithelial layer or the mucosa you have another layer with connective tissue, so that is mostly osseous type. And in sometimes these organs, like for an example, let's say kidneys, let's have kidneys for an example. So these kidneys have a tough capsule surrounding them. And also let's say the liver. So the liver has a tough capsule surrounding it. So you have liver, kidneys. So all these capsules of these organs are formed with the dense connective tissue, right? So adipose tissue or fat tissues is around, so you can find adipose tissue around the kidneys, and so there are plenty of areas where you can find in, so you have abdominal fat, so everything. So this fat tissue is composed of what you call as this adipose tissue, in other words, right? So this is the basic introduction for connective tissues. So these three types of connective tissues will be discussed in detail later. So hope you get an basic idea of what connective tissues and what their functions are. Thanks for watching.